Ghanaians are excited before the festive season. A general look in town shows that most of the population are joyful and are expectant for a very enjoyable festive season. Even before the Christmas is here, people have already started shopping for numerous clothes. Others are seen partying in clubs and hotspots like it is already Christmas. A couple of days ago, there were some loud events that went on in the country, and many gathered to enjoy in the celebration. It's beginning to look as if the pandemic is no more in existence and life has gone back to normal. Looking at some of the places where people meet, we can see that some party with their nose masks on, but there are others who still move around without wearing any nose masks. Different tunes are being played through the speakers, and many Ghanaians are enjoying themselves. Though there have been a number of people who are not as joyful and in a celebrant mood like these people, it seems the majority are happy. However, those who are not really in the mood to jubilate have expressed certain concerns as the reasons why they have not been partying. Some spoke about the unfavorable working conditions due to the rain. Because of the frequent rains, some have been affected negatively, and their work has become stressful for them. Others also complained that they were not making the amount of money they expected to be making, and because they had planned to enjoy Christmas with a certain budgeted amount of money, they are skeptic on whether Christmas will be good. And because they haven't raised that amount of money yet, they are not in the mood to celebrate. There are others also who express certain concerns about living life differently than before when all this pandemic came across the world. They have expressed the reason to take things more calm, be more understanding, and some even use the word be more wise in their dealings, saying that anything could happen anytime and there was no need for unnecessary jubilations. They expressed concerns about the way things were to come and the feeling that the times and seasons do not call for jubilations. But on the whole, many people have been very happy with things in general. The economy seems to be doing better than people expected it to, and there are others who are also grateful that they are in the nation and don't have to toil outside the country. There were some who were living and residing in foreign countries who have returned back to the motherland, and they told us they were joyful because they were glad they are finally home, saying that they had missed the motherland, and some even don't think they would ever go back to those countries they returned from. There are others who have to go back because certain work still presses a need to be there. But there are those who feel they are going to settle in the nation for a while and get to experience the culture they had missed for so long. In our lands, we see different types of nationals all adjusting to live in this nation where there's freedom and peace. When we spoke to some foreigners, they expressed their gratitude for such a nation as this. They were glad that this was not one of those nations that was always having problems like earthquakes, landslides, and tsunamis, just to name a few. Others were also glad they were not in those nations where things were getting too tight around their necks. And now that they are back, they really plan on having a good time. We've also seen some motorbike activities going around, and this causes the need to raise an eyebrow. There have been those who have taken to the streets and using quick means take things from others. But we do advise the listeners to be very careful. In the joyful mood, don't be careless and lose something to the enemy. When we look ahead of what the next year will be likely to bring, we think it's going to be a very interesting one, considering the fact that 2 years before everything was different, and now there are things that have changed the whole system in which we live. A lot of people promise that the next year was going to be very fruitful. Others also expressed their hopes in a year that was going to move them faster in areas where the 2 years which brought a certain pandemic reduced their speed in going about things. They are hoping that this coming year they'll be able to gain the momentum so that they could take back all that the previous years kept them from having. There are some who are still in the work mood and express to us that though there's a need to be joyful, they won't stop work, since it's not everyone whose job permits them to go on a holiday break. From what they say, they would be working all throughout these months, even to the last month of the year and entering into the first month of the next year. Those who are from far away and have come to stay are also liking the way things are done in this nation and have expressed their intentions of really enjoying themselves around here. We walked to the streets. We took a trip to the towns. We passed by villages and corners. And we saw that many were not complaining like they used to at the early part of this year. Early this year, there was so much heat in the areas of politics, with concerns about the economy and other things that were affecting this nation. But looking now at the way people are going about things, it is obvious that the nation has moved forward from all those things that was quite an issue in the past. Looking around, there are many who are still wondering if this life will be the same way it is going to be, or if there are more things that are going to be released onto this earth to keep people on their toes and to make them aware that these are the times to live properly and carefully. There are some who think the years to come may bring things that are scarier than the pandemic which happened 2 years ago. There are some who feel there's yet to come that is going to overwhelm a lot of people. And speaking to some analysts, we found out that what is going to come in the years ahead are going to be so mighty that those who are on the ground and in the valleys are going to be very much lifted up. And we are going to see a breakdown of those who are on top. And it's going to be so drastic and so quick. People will wonder how come things changed so soon. This was one of the reasons why some people were jubilating. Some people who identify themselves as part of the lowly and the humble were jubilating because they knew the years ahead are going to bring something good. Now that people are enjoying themselves and getting ready for the festive season, we would also like our listeners to consider that the money spent should be watched if you are in a tight position, knowing that the next year could bring either an increase or a decrease in prices should guide the nationals to know how to spend their monies and where to put certain resources. It is good, however, that most people are able to release the stress and all the worries and all the burdens that have arisen from all the turmoils that went on from the beginning of this year to now. We are glad that many people will have a chance to relax and to get the energies they need to meet the next year that is approaching. There are many who have expressed concerns about those who don't get to enjoy life the way they should because they are too focused on work. They say all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. So they don't want to be Jack anymore. Some people have decided to stop jacking and to have a rather calm and relaxed, enjoyable life. Those who have decided to stop jacking have made plans to go on holiday trips, to go surfing, to enjoy trips to national parks and places with beautiful sceneries, to break the very hard and rigid work lifestyle. As to whether this is going to be a good thing or not, we do hope them the best. But they are reminded that though they've decided to stop jacking, they should also look at making sure it is not too much. We are hopeful that this mood that nationals are currently feeling will continue into the next year, because when a nation is happy, things go on well. For those of you who are yet to express some joy because of many wanderings and concerns, this is a time for you to relax. Thank you for listening and have a nice day.